Bridge continuing tonight at 11:15 on Channel 4 and on Granada tomorrow at noon and again at 4 o'clock. Now our First Division special.
Tottenham Hotspur arrive at Anfield as the biggest spenders of the big clubs who are striving to take the First Division title away from Liverpool. A measure of their progress comes today. Liverpool against Tottenham is the featured match on our Barclays First Division special. Everton and Manchester United also have serious championship ambitions. We've a latest check on their challenge. But first, it's Liverpool against Spurs, always a significant fixture. 10 years now since Tottenham were trampled here. In September '78, they were smashed 7-0.
Johnson, and Johnson the ball into acres of empty space for Highway. And Highway, a brilliant crossback.
In April, Spurs were also beaten here, less substantially. A Liverpool win, though, that confirmed their 17th championship.
Onto the left foot, oh, glorious goal by Beardsley, and Liverpool now know they are the champions.
The new Tottenham is being built around Paul Gascoigne, whose first goal for his new club came a week ago against Arsenal. The loss of a boot, but not a loss of composure. Since then, Gascoigne has become England's latest full international. Well, Chris Waddle is fit after missing out on Wembley, but the Tottenham attack still deprived of Paul Stewart because of suspension. Terry Venable's pursuit of Manchester United's Paul McGrath isn't over. Spurs still hope that that deal will go through next week. Their defensive troubles have taken a toll on goalkeeper Bobby Mims, and his dwindling confidence can hardly be helped by his Everton memories of facing Ian Rush. Rush put 8 goals past Mims in only 4 games, and he's hungry now for the first senior goal of this, his second spell at Anfield. Liverpool have John Barnes and Barry Venison injured, as well as the longer-term casualties, Hansen and McMahon. Back come Gary Ablett and Peter Beardsley, who was dropped to substitute by his club last Saturday, but played for his country on Wednesday. One of 8 of this side on international duty. 2 youthful substitutes, incidentally, Steve Staunton and John Durnin. Tottenham kick off, attacking the top end of the first half. Against Arsenal a week ago, they played with a sweeper, Terry Fenwick. And I just wonder whether they'll operate with the same tactics in different circumstances here at Anfield. Chris Fairclough, one of 2 other centre-backs in the side, with Gary Mabbott. Fenwick at the moment taking a position in the middle of the back line. Ablett. Ray Houghton, wearing 10, is onside. One or 2 indications from Kenny Dalglish that Liverpool might have to change their normal way of playing. But Walsh is round Grobbelaar. The goal is gaping for him. And Steve Nicol with a stupendous piece of covering to deny his old clubmate. Grobbelaar was nowhere. He charged off his line, and one ball out from Tottenham had played Walsh in. They hadn't counted on Nicol. Gascoigne, it's over the head of Ablett and kept in by Waddle. Mabbott on the stretch. The most tentative beginning by Liverpool standards. And Samways stopping the thrust there from Houghton. And what an extraordinary opening to the game. The length of the pass enabled Walsh to stay onside, round Grobbelaar, and Nicol very much the last line of defence, but what an effective one. Paul Walsh, like all players performing against the previous club, very anxious to put on a show. Well, Whelan was almost appealing like a bowler for an LBW decision then. Trelford Mills, the referee, was looking the other way. The late contact came from Gascoigne. Ablett is booking for Gascoigne. With 8 minutes gone. Whelan well enough to take the short free kick, receive it from Ablett. And here's Rush. And Mims was angry again with the lack of cover afforded to him. And Bobby Mims knows from past experience that you do not allow Rush to get away from defenders. He swung at it, didn't connect cleanly, fortunately for Tottenham. Houghton. Tottenham holding a squarish back line. Aldridge wanted a little too long, and it was Waddle who dispossessed him, and he's now galloping up to try and support the one forward man, Walsh. And he's got ahead of him. It's a great ball by Walsh. It's a terrific chance for Waddle, and Tottenham, who could easily have been 2 goals up here in the opening chapter of this First Division match, have missed 2 chances. Waddle, the second culprit after Walsh. And how many chances do you want at Anfield? This is Aldridge, though. Mims is committed, and he got the ball. It's a save that will mean a lot to Bobby Mims. And the frustration in front of goal at this stage of his Liverpool career is significant too for Aldridge. Paul Allen, that's a dangerous one. Finnick was just quick enough, but Tottenham almost in danger of becoming complacent. Strange thing to say, but the way they played in the first half here at Anfield, they've been the dominant force, certainly in terms of creating chances, with Waddle very much to the fore. Statham going hunting. Spackman. Plenty of room for Gary Ablett. Now, what can Liverpool do from this cross? The flick header was from Rush. Thomas. Picked off that time by Houghton. And Whelan can stride forward. Gets the better of Mabbutt, and the chance for Aldridge, kicked away by Mims and just away from Rush. Had it just been a block, Rush must have scored from the rebound after Aldridge had tested the goalkeeper. Beardsley. And that's a corner. Aldridge shoots, it was deflected, so Mims did even better. And had it fallen away rather than been kicked away, Rush was right on the spot, as you would expect. Nicol. And that's a great run by Nicol. Outside Houghton, and it nearly got its reward. It's, in the end, the goal kick. Trelford Mills right on the spot to judge. But that was much more like it from Liverpool. Nicol had paired away outside Houghton to make the cross possible. So the temperature rising around the Bobby Mims goal. Mulvey rather emphasising his distress then. Sam Ways. More clever play from him. And from Paul Allen. Statham. Oh, and Nicol didn't really take charge. Thomas Grobbelaar diffuses the situation. But Tottenham then had 5 players forward in that attack. And clearly a sensing that it could be their day. Mitchell Thomas operating really as an advanced left-back, left-sided midfield, pushing on and finding himself in some very forward positions. Allowed to do so because of Fenwick's role as the sweeper. Although with Fenwick as sweeper, Tottenham conceded 3 goals to Arsenal a week ago. Terry Venables convinced that none of those goals were down to the system. Well, Liverpool may have to adjust their system. So Jan Molby departs, and this is Steve Staunton, who did play last season on loan in the 2nd division for Bradford City. Grobbelaar, the master of the situation. Well, Liverpool might point to injuries, and they've added to their list with Molby going off, and to international tiredness, but that shouldn't take anything away from an exciting first-half performance from Tottenham here at Anfield. Paul Walsh might have scored right at the outset, and Chris Waddle possibly should have scored a little later. Whether those misses will be really significant, we must wait and see. But at half-time at Anfield, it's Liverpool 0, Tottenham 0. A lot more action to come after the break. We'll take that break now.
I'm thinking about the sand on the beach, because that's really soft.
They're trying to describe a totally new kind of softness.
It's like snow and marshmallows. I think it feels like a squashy bun.
It comes from a totally new kind of fabric conditioner.
It's nice to hug things. Mine is a bit cuddly. It's lovely.
Introducing new Lenore in Original or Summer Fresh. It's almost too soft for words.
Welcome back to Anfield. The task for Liverpool as they attack the Kop end in the second half really is to come to terms with a Tottenham system which in effect is embracing 5 players in midfield and has stifled much of the best of Liverpool in that department. Tottenham, of course, went 73 years without winning at Anfield, but won here 1-0 in 85 and by the same score in 86. Trelford Mills from Barnsley, his 13th season on the Football League list. It was back in November when Terry Venables, in the suit there, took charge of a Tottenham game for the first time. You might remember it was against Liverpool at White Hart Lane. He lost a player sent off after about a quarter of an hour. That was Steve Hodge, and never really had a chance in that one after that. Waddle. Allen is offside. Liverpool were pushing up. And the pass was too late, really, for Paul Allen from his viewpoint. But it was a run that Might encourage him to do it again. Try and catch Liverpool square. Fairclough leaving Rush limping. Samways. Now Thomas. Walsh and Waddle waiting in the centre. Here's Walsh. Lets it run for Waddle. And now that is interesting. It was fairly theatrical, but you might be surprised when I tell you that Tottenham haven't yet had a penalty since Terry Venables took over as manager. They were yelling for one then. It was a clever piece of work initially by Walsh to let the ball run onto Waddle. Gillespie was the defender, and Waddle almost went down in slow motion. And the little bit of improvisation there from Paul Walsh in the end came to nothing. You can sense that the crowd are aware that circumstances have prevailed against the home team a little bit in this game. The injuries are beginning to mount up at Anfield. The squad, of course, is a deep one, and the resources are capable. It's really been heavy going by Liverpool standards in this game. But here's Nicol. Just as you say that, of course, they're likely to threaten. With Houghton and Rush. No penalty this time at the other end. The shouts were for handball, which could hardly have been intentional in there. Staunton performing neatly. Rush's layoff, inviting Ablett to come forward and try and slip-stay them. Well, he got the ball past, but not himself. But the pressure stays on Tottenham. Well, Staunton seems to be in on the signals. That was deflected, and Mabbutt dealt with a difficult ball with a little bit of luck, coupled with some defensive technique. Could really have gone anywhere. Here's Nicol. Still prepared to run even when he's playing in the middle of defence. Throwing down the gauntlet to Tottenham. Gillespie. Now Spackman. What can Aldridge make of this? Well, not much against Fairclough. Statham trying to play a little bit too much football, close to his own area, but it's safe now with Gascoigne for Spurs. But through the endeavours of the likes of Ronnie Whelan, the tide has begun to turn a little Liverpool's way in the second half already. Through commitment and character, rather than really fluent build-up. Walsh. Well, it will reach Waddle. Liverpool have been allowed to get some numbers back. It's still a corner, put out by Gillespie. Forward goes Fennick and Mabbutt. Mabbutt gesturing that he really wants the ball hung up high. He's a great natural jumper, of course, Gary Mabbutt. Didn't reach him. And now he has to turn and sprint back in the wake of Peter Beardsley. And look who's up on the far side. It's Gary Gillespie, and Liverpool really collectively saw an opportunity to break them and to take the corner quickly. Gillespie. A wonderful show of enterprise by Gary Gillespie. He ran the length of the field. Samways. At times, maybe it's a fault on the right side, but he's looked to be too artistic. A good old-fashioned blast from there might have been more effective from a player who's yet to score the first division goal. This is Spackman. Liverpool certainly working at their game. They're being made to work by Tottenham's resilience. Well, talking to Kenny Dalglish yesterday, I had the feeling that he knew this wouldn't be an easy game. Samways. Now he has had a shot this time. That was much more like it. As if the incident a couple of minutes ago when he behaved rather tamely on the edge of the area had spurred him to something more positive. It needed the upraised hand of Grobbelaar to deal with it. And the travelling Tottenham support behind the goal that Spurs are attacking. Mabbutt and Fenwick released from a spell of defensive duties. Now they'll have to get back. Charlton's long pass trying to catch them out of position, aimed towards Beardsley. Waddle had got back, though, to keep an eye on his old Newcastle United mate. Another man with Newcastle connections, of course, is Paul Gascoigne. Walsh darted off with Waddle in a little bit of difficulty there as to what to come up with. But at this stage in the game, the skills of the two front players for Tottenham is much use really in giving the defenders some rest, as in creating a goal. Thomas. Whelan leaving it for Spackman, who's got Ablett. And now he in turn has Staunton for help, but also Beardsley infield, and Peter Beardsley has struck a goal out of nothing. His 99th in the Football League. To just remind Kenny Dalglish that he is worth a place in the starting lineup. On the stretch, as he was tackled and hurt by Mabbutt. But there was absolutely no chance for Mims. Ablett looked to the left, this time ignored Staunton, and Beardsley had pulled away, and Tottenham will be disappointed at the room that Peter Beardsley had. 12 minutes left. The scorer is suffering in terms of the injury. Mabbutt, particularly in terms of how the goal came about, looking at it from the Spurs viewpoint. But Kenny Dalglish's side have shown terrific persistence despite their injuries. despite the battle plan being much changed, really, from the usual well-oiled Liverpool machine. Beardsley has shrugged off the damage, his ears ringing to the applause from the Kop. And the score is Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Well, Tottenham, whose response has been to bring on David Howells, their first substitution. Gascoigne, and stay them over the free kick. Vanek, 1-1! Quite extraordinary. Liverpool, the ultimate professionals, caught still celebrating Beardsley's goal. Gascoigne delivered it with the accuracy that Fenwick was looking for, and he obliged with a superb downward header. And Tottenham, who just had a moment or two perhaps to reflect. Oh, now Fairclough has punched Aldridge. And Trelford Mills has to take serious account of this. It was in terms of retaliation, but surely Fairclough has to go. The two goals have fanned the flames in this match. Now, what will this experienced referee do? Fairclough could surely have no complaints if the card is red. Aldridge is incensed. He was on the receiving end of it. Judging by what we've seen from the other Tottenham players, they seem to think that Fairclough will survive. I am beginning to wonder whether that's the case. The law is being laid down very firmly. The card is red. Chris Fairclough is sent off. So Terry Venables, who saw a player sent off when he faced Liverpool in his first match at White Hart Lane last November, that was Hodge, another former Nottingham Forest man, as Hodge was then, goes off this time Fairclough. Now this is what happened. Aldridge clearly started it by turning in, well, I don't know whether he did. There was a collision, and then Fairclough raised an arm and followed through. It was stupid, and it's been punished. So Tottenham's emotions now, having got back to 1-1, must be in turmoil. Chris Hughton has come on. And Fenwick boots it into the Kop via the roof of the stand. There are 6 minutes left. A game that was interesting, not brimming with drama, it must be said, has suddenly boiled over. So in the midst of 2 goals and a red card, Tottenham making 2 substitutions. David Howells and Chris Hughton have come on for Chris Waddle and Paul Walsh. Tottenham's 10 men, reluctant to get the game restarted. Gillespie. Thomas now in the centre of defence. Howells. It's a good turn by Whelan. And Hughton could only hack it away, and Tottenham are reeling now. All because of the sending off. Gillespie. Houghton will keep it in. Gillespie again. Just at a time, really, when Terry Finnick had got Tottenham back into the match. And Tottenham really should have been bubbling. Gillespie. Some more jostling, the kind of which really, I think, was at the root of the Fairclough episode. Certainly nothing too serious, it seemed, as we look at it again from Aldridge's viewpoint. Houghton. Oh, it's Rush! Oh, my word! How did he miss it? If ever you wanted an illustration of how a player's timing isn't quite exact, that was it. A very famous example. At a most unusual time for Liverpool, whose habit of snatching victories right at the last is legendary. Often Rush has been the man to do just that. It all happened in the last 12 minutes. Peter Beardsley fashioned a superb strike to give Liverpool, certainly not at their best, a lead. Uncharacteristically, they allowed Terry Finnick to equalise virtually straight from the kickoff. And then the unsavoury incident when Chris Fairclough was sent off for aiming a blow at John Aldridge. And even after that, the miss by Ian Rush, which perhaps, sadly, from Ian's point of view, will be an abiding talking point. He'll get it right, I'm sure, just as Liverpool will play better than this. But Tottenham will draw satisfaction from it. Their sweeper system with Fenwick there worked well for them, and they go off at Anfield with a scoreline: Liverpool 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
Meanwhile, Liverpool's eternal rivals Everton were intent on preserving their unbeaten record as they face the division's new boys Millwall at the Den. But the South Londoners have shown that reputations count for very little at Cold Blow Lane, and no wonder when they have the most informed strike force in the First Division. And after 25 minutes, the Irish half of Millwall's double act, Tony Cascarino, was at it again. He had to thank George Lawrence for providing the goal-scoring opportunity, a deep-flung cross, and Cascarino climbed high above the defence to do the rest. Cascarino just seems to have carried on where he left off in Division 2. Millwall's impressive return to the First Division has been hallmarked by one factor, that's for sure, confidence. And with the bonus of a one-goal start, they were certainly never allowing Everton to settle on the ball. And even when their more illustrious Merseyside opponents tried a rather calmer approach, Millwall were never afraid to be inventive themselves. 10 minutes after that first goal, Lawrence was once again providing goal-scoring opportunities. It was Lawrence who'd set Sheringham away and then run fully 50 yards to try and take the return. His shot hit the post, and once again Cascarino was there. He's deadly from 8 yards, as they say. That's 5 goals in 4 games for Cascarino. But not everything's going Millwall's way. And in the second half, 7 minutes gone, and Everton have the opportunity to get back into the game. The corner kick rather needlessly conceded, and that is to cost Millwall dear. Kevin Sheedy with the corner kick. Dave Watson is up there for a flick, and young Alan McCleary can only help the ball over the line. But it wasn't enough to spoil the day at the Den. Millwall winners overall, and Everton's unbeaten run is finished. Manchester United are another of the First Division big money boys looking to keep pace with Liverpool. They travel to Kenilworth Road, Luton, hoping that last weekend's first victory of the season against Middlesbrough might provide the springboard for a sustained sequence of results, rather more in keeping with the club's demanding ambitions. But a scrappy opening did little to convince United's committed travelling army that the corner had been turned. United included Paul McGrath in their lineup, despite his move to Tottenham very much in the balance. But it was Luton's rather less well-known central defender, Marvin Johnson, who seemed destined to make headlines. He gifted United a goal after 19 minutes, showing a little too much confidence and presenting the ball to Peter Davenport. The Manchester striker accepted the chance with commendable calmness to show he at least can remain unaffected by off-the-field discontent. In the second half, a spirited Luton response floundered on the outstanding form of United keeper Jim Leighton, leaving United to seal victory with an 84th-minute goal from England skipper Brian Robson. A crisp move left Jesper Olsen with a chance to cross, and Robson had made one of his typical surging runs to place his header well beyond Les Seeley. A second goal in as many games for Robson, and for United too, a second consecutive victory.
Well, Manchester United have only conceded 1 goal in their 4 games, but they're just off the early pace. Norwich City, the clear leaders now, the only 100% record. Norwich were 2-0 winners at Newcastle. Southampton drew 2-2 at Arsenal, Millwall a third, and Liverpool up a place to 4th with the point they gained from our featured match. And that's a game that will not be forgotten by Peter Beardsley, Ian Rush and Chris Fairclough, but for vastly differing reasons. Good night to you.